Hello and welcome to another lesson of Python programming for beginners. In this lesson we will learn about string and its methods. Okay, so let's create a new file. Let's call it string handling.py. Okay, so now we will see how we can handle the different strings. So let's call it, let's say, string handling. Let's give it a small title so that we can understand. Okay, let's create a small string. I'll create a string here. Let's say hello comma world. Okay, and I'll give an exclamation mark as well. Okay, so we have created a small string here, hello comma world exclamation mark. Okay, so we will see different string functions here now, but to start with, let's say first let's print the string as it is. Let's see how we can do it. Okay, so let's run this piece of code first to check whether it's working fine or not. So we will type, let's say, python string handling, okay, dot py, and it's printing the output. It's working perfectly fine. So let's move ahead with the things, and I'll delete that. Okay, so that we can just try and write other things. Okay, so here we have simply printed a python or the string as it is now. Okay, so we will try the different methods of string now. Okay, to start with, we will write a small piece of method or a small method which is length. Okay, which we can use to find the length of the string, which we can use to find the length of the string. Okay, so let's start with the writing print. Okay, so we will print so let's start with writing print first. So we will see how we can find the length of the string. Okay, so we will write a small method len. Okay, and we will write the variable here. Okay, so this will print this method will basically print the length, okay, of string. Okay, that means it will print actually the number of characters. Okay, so it will basically returns number of, let's say, characters, okay, in string. Okay, number of characters in string. So this is how it works. Okay, so let's try and execute that again just to check whether it works or it returns perfectly fine or not. So let's say python string handling dot py. Okay, and see, it's returning the number of characters as well. So if you can see the string hello world. Okay, so it has total 13 characters, including this space, okay, comma and exclamation mark. So including space and the special characters. Okay, so that's how it's printing it. Then let's check with some other stuff. So what I'll do is I'll say print a and square brackets. So in square brackets, let's say I'll print 1. I'll write 1. Okay, so it will return the character from given index number. Okay, so this will basically return, okay, this returns the character of given index number. Okay, so you can write like this. Okay, so let's say like this. Okay, so let's check this as well, what it gives the output. Okay, so we are getting E. So here if you can see index number 1, when I say, it's printing E. So index number always starts with, let's say, 0, always starts with 0. So if I say 0 is H, 1 is E, it's like that. Okay, so it works like this. Then if I go to the next, let's say print, and I'll say again square bracket, a square bracket, but this time instead of passing one number, let's say I'll pass 2:5. Okay, 2:5, that means 2 is the start index and 5 is the end index. Okay, 2 is the start index and 5 is the end index. So this basically returns the substring. Okay, so this returns the substring, okay, with given index numbers. Okay, so given index numbers, basically I can say with given with start index number and the end index number. Okay, so it's like that. Okay, so let's see that as well, how it works. So if I execute that again, now it's giving me, okay, LLO. That means if you see, it's not giving me, so it is giving LLO. So this is L is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. Okay, so this is 4. Okay, sorry, yeah. So that is LLO, it's printing LLO. So it's not printing the character from 5. Okay, so you always understand, whenever you give this index number, you have to understand this thing here. Whenever you pass the index number, that is the end index number, so it will go up to that, not that particular character. Okay, so it will start from 2 and it will stop at 5, but 5 will not be printed, so it will print the character from index number 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so that is why it's printing only 3 characters here. Okay, or in other words, you can say this is the end index, so you can say end index minus 1, end index minus 1. Okay, so it will go to 2 to 4. Okay, so 2, 3 and 4, it will print the characters from 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so let's move ahead with another example. Okay, so let's try and print, or you will use now a small method here. Okay, so let's try, I'll use a method called split. Okay, so in this method, what I can do is I can pass a particular character. With which I want to split the word or the string. Okay, so in this string, let's say we can use space or we can use this comma. So let's use comma here. We will use comma here to separate the string. Okay, so this will basically, if you see, separates the string. Okay, or we can say split the string. Okay, whatever you want to say, separates the string with given delimiter. Okay, so given delimiter. Okay, so it will work with that. Yeah, so let's check the output. Okay, so we'll execute that again, and now if you can see, it is giving me a list, okay, of different words. Okay, it is giving me a list of different words. Here you can see hello is separated with the comma, so comma is not printed here. Okay, so it has separated with comma, and again if you see another word, space and world. Okay, so we can use it like this. Fine, so that's how we can just use a split. Okay, let's check that with another string or something like that. Okay, so let's say b equals to, I'll write a small string, let's say as per survey. Okay, it let's say it is 62% better. Okay, so here percent we cannot use directly, so I'll use like this. Okay, in that's a special character, so we cannot use directly. Okay, so percent better, let's say with live instructor. Okay, so just a small statement we have added. Okay, so and now let's say I'll call again, let's say print b dot, I'll call it split. Okay, and in split, let's say I'll pass space now. Okay, because there is nothing and we haven't used any character or something like that, so what I'll do is I'll just use space here to execute this. Okay, and let's try and execute that again. So here if you can see, we have got a complete list of okay, so words, the words are separated, all the words are separated here. Okay, with the space. Okay, so all the words we can see here in this list, so it has returned a list. Okay, with all the words. Okay, so that's how we can just try this split method. Okay, so this is how we can use the split. Okay, let's try another one. Let's say c equals to this time I'll say a string. Let's add some space here. Okay, and hello and some other extra space here. Okay, so what happens, I have just added this space now intentionally, but by mistake sometime we may add the space. Initial space may be visible while adding input or something, but sometimes what happens is we are not able to locate this extra space in the end. Okay, and that may go as a wrong input, or it may take space in database as well, so you may have a lot of other issues. Okay, so if I initially let's print it as it is so that we can understand. So let's print c as it is. and then we will print the C, which remove we will remove those spaces now. Okay, so I'll say C dot, we have a method called strip, we have a method called strip, so we will use this method. This method will basically removes all the white spaces. Okay, removes white spaces from beginning and end. Okay, so beginning and end. Okay, or instead of that I can write, let's say, prefix and postfix. Okay, so prefix and postfix white spaces. Okay, it will not remove the spaces in between, you need to keep that in mind. Let's say if there is a space in between, let's say if this is a string. Okay, so if this is a string, this will not remove this space, it will not remove this space, but it will remove this space and this space. Okay, so you need to keep that in mind again. So this strip will remove the prefix and postfix spaces, prefix and postfix spaces. Okay, so let's try that as well. We'll run that code again. So here, if you can see here, we have got this output, okay, with the space. Yeah, so here we have this output with the space, and in the another output, if you can see here, we don't have the space there, we don't have the space there. Okay, so that's how we can just use this, that's how we can just use the strip. Okay, so let's move ahead with another method here. Okay, so let's do one thing. What I'll do is, now I want to replace a particular string or a character. I just want to replace a particular character with a new character. Okay, so we'll see how we can do that. So let's print that output directly. So I'll say a dot, we have a method called replace, we have a method called replace. So in replace we have to pass two characters, we have to pass two characters. First is old character, second is the new character. Okay, so here let's say I'll use H and I'll use let's call it Y. Okay, so I have passed two characters here. So first is let's say H and second is Y. Okay, so whatever character you want to use, you can just use. Okay, so let's try this, or let's say let's use C with this. Okay, so I'll okay, and so this will replace the old character with the new character. So this replaces the let's try run and check this again. Okay, so here if you can see, we are getting this output. Okay, so yellow world. Okay, instead of hello world, we are getting yellow world. Okay, so that's how we will get this output. Okay, so if you want, I'll just check it with the A, so you can just try this. Okay, so yellow world. Okay, so that was the original string in A, so hello world, and instead of this H, it is replaced with Y. Okay, what if I use a particular character which is used multiple time here? Okay, so in this string, let's say LL is there, so L is 3 times used there. Here is in hello 2 times, and the world is third time. Again, if I say O is used 2 times. Okay, so let's try O with, let's say we will replace O with U. Okay, and see what happens here. Okay, so let's execute. If you can see here, it will replace each and every character. Okay, so it will replace all the occurrences of that particular character. Every time O was there, so O is replaced with U. So we have to be little careful while using this, we have to be little careful while using replace. Okay, otherwise we may get an end up in trouble. Okay, because we have to be little careful with this. So let's move ahead with the another example. So let's say or another method. Okay, so let's say print a dot, I'll say lower. Okay, so I'll use a method called lower. Okay, this method will convert. Okay, so this will convert let's say string into small letters. Okay, and if I use upper, there is another one that is called upper. So let me call it like this, a dot, let's say upper. Okay, so if I use this one, if I use this one, this will convert the string. Okay, so this will convert the string into capital letters. Okay, so let's give it a try. Let's give it a try with this. Okay, so we'll run it from here, and if you can see here, we are getting it like that. So this is completely into small letters because of lower. We use the lower method here, and the last is the completely capital letters. Okay, since we used upward method here. Okay, with the help of these methods we can handle strings in a different way, as per the requirement. Okay, so I hope you have understood this. Okay, and see you in the next lesson.